For 12 years, Nigeria has battled insurgency in its northeast region. Tens of thousands killed and over 1 million people displaced. The war has cost the Nigerian state over 6 trillion naira, a rough equivalent of $12 billion. A huge fortune for a country that cannot provide basic amenities such as potable water. Through the fog of war, the cries of victims, and the prevailing sense of insecurity, another challenge has emerged. Thousands of Boko Haram members, including women and children, are coming out of the forest, surrendering. Getting Nigerians to agree on any issue is difficult, but what to do with over 3,000 surrendered Boko Haram members is more divisive than most.
The only thing that is left is how to handle the situation. This is where our concern is there. Handling the situation politically, handling the situation by the military, and the community itself is something that has to be looked into properly.
Steps has to be taken. Simply because somebody is surrendered and coming, you have a very big responsibility rested on your shoulder. Number one, try to, analyze, what brought him, what made him to come down again.
From the northwest to the south and the middle belt, opinions are not scarce. Academics, political and religious leaders are all taking positions.
Mind is very difficult to deconstruct, and this we must sit down, think carefully how to deconstruct this mind. That's why Borno State University established Center for Chronic Studies, essentially and ostensibly to deconstruct the minds of these people.
The man with arguably the most difficult job and right at the center of the storm is the Borno State Governor. A victim of several attacks himself, who has been in the thick of things, is urging caution. Knowing that emotions are high, he explains that a strategic approach is what this delicate situation requires.
The report of the surrendering of the insurgents, to me in particular, and to the greater people of Borno State, is a very welcome development. Unless we want to continue with an endless war, I see no reason why we shall reject those that are willing to surrender.
It is certainly going to be a difficult task to placate victims who have suffered at the hands of the terrorist group. Unknown to many, some of the members of Boko Haram are also victims themselves. 57-year-old Baba Gana Mirabe was a teacher in Bama before the town was overrun. He was given an option he couldn't refuse: join us or we kill you and your entire family.
They captured Bama local government. We are inside. We didn't get a chance to run out of the local government. So they did not leave Bama local government until otherwise. So from there, we have been hiding in underbed, we have been hiding in ceilings for all these days. We are not get chance to run out. So one day, they come and captured us and take away with me.
As sad as his story is, many have had it worse. Musa Kukawa was a customary court judge before he was captured by Boko Haram. It took 3 years before he got a chance to escape. Abubakar was kidnapped as a teenager. His leg and arm were amputated when he was accused of having a relationship with the girlfriend of a Boko Haram commander. Then there are stories of children forced to join the militant group, some as young as 7 years old.
Once they come to Bulunkutu, we provide them with psychosocial support.
Prominent political and religious leaders agree with Governor ZULUM that deradicalizing these repentant insurgents would encourage those still in the forest to surrender.
If you know some other members that are out there who feel they will not be secured when they come up, please contact them, call them, and assure them that as soon as they come and go through this kind of process, they are secured, the society will treat them fairly, the society will be just to them.
This is a very good and great part of restoring peace to the Northeast and to the nation. We want to, on behalf of the 3 states, assure you of our commitment to this project.
The strangest support for these surrendered former members of Boko Haram is coming from their fiercest enemies. Members of the civilian JTF have suffered more than most. Their leader is asking other victims to understand that deradicalization is the fastest path to lasting peace in the Northeast.
And this is also a national policy that they will integrate the surrender BH and take them back to communities. We used to do it usually. We have the first batch. Even presently, there are two boys that I take them to Gangamari, one community. They are there in the community. And those also, we are still monitoring them. And we are seeing them, they are doing well in the communities. So even those people, they take them back to the communities. We will tell the people and we will tell our boys who are in the grassroots so that they will cooperate with us, they will take care of them and we will monitor them.
The biggest challenge is reintegrating these returnees into society. Emotions run deep. The silent tears of victims mixed with those of loved ones of these former insurgents are loud. Seeing them cry, begging for forgiveness, does not totally remove the concern of community leaders. Before this latest wave of surrendering, the federal government in 2015 created a program to deradicalize, rehabilitate and reintegrate members of Boko Haram that voluntarily surrender. This is to offer those that were forcefully conscripted a path out and reduce the number of fighters available to the terrorist group. The program, codenamed Operation Safe Corridor, has attracted fierce criticism, but those with inside knowledge consider it a huge success. Each of these clients, as they are referred to, is profiled before undergoing months of intense medical, psychological, religious, and social therapy. They are also taught vocational skills to aid their reintegration into society. In most cases, the process takes more than a year. Some are in custody for up to 4 years before reintegration. Another major step is their appearance before a judicial panel. After clearance by the panel led by a federal judge, they are administered an oath of allegiance to the Nigerian state.
And we are true allegiance to the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
In any war where you have 6,600 surrender willingly to embrace a federal government program, I think it's a sign for peace ahead of us.
What you are seeing here is a cooperation between the government, the military forces, and several ministries, departments, and agencies. According to the general, about 17 ministries, departments, and agencies are involved in this. So, I mean, listen, these guys have brought on board the global best practices in dealing with this.
Out of over 1,200 low-risk Boko Haram members that have passed through the deradicalization, rehabilitation, and reintegration program in the last 6 years, 98% of them have remained stable and have now become advocates of peace in their communities. The war against insurgency continues with no clear end in sight. Reintegrating surrendered members of Boko Haram is bound to be challenging, even after going through the federal government's deradicalization and rehabilitation program. They could be jailed or executed, as some are suggesting, which would add in other fighters and prevent any from ever surrendering. Or a more strategic approach focused on peace rather than vengeance. Lanre Adeyemi, TVC News, Gombe.